there were Americans in the movie that were playing were the immigrants from America. Usually these were like Caucasian men. If you really want socialism and whatever that your idea or utopia that you have, then please do not ruin our country and move to North Korea, because the door is open for you. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Yeonmi. I'm a nurse and defector human rights activist. So this has been one of the most requested videos from you, so I'm really excited. Today's topic is, can you move to North Korea? It's about immigration to North Korea. Many of you has been very curious about this topic, and I was researching this video and I couldn't believe what I found. So please hit that like button and let's start. The question to can anyone move to North Korea is yes, as long as you are not a South Korean citizen. South Koreans are not allowed to go to North Korea even as a tourist, so they are completely banned to enter the country. However, if any of you come from the US, the UK, Canada, and anywhere else, you can start to fight for immigration process to North Korea, and you need to contact the nearest North Korean embassy in your country. It's known to be that North Korea actually has been one of the hardest place to immigrate to. And even if you one of the few locals make it that process and go to North Korea, and that's where a real story begins. I know that in our country right now there's a lot of self-claimed socialist, Marxist, and in my heart I just want them to all immigrate to North Korea. So I hope they watch this video today and learn some tips. So after you fight for that immigration process in your country for North Korean embassy, if you do get the paper permit, then you go to North Korea. And from there, as soon as you arrive in North Korea, the first thing that regime gonna do is actually confiscating all your properties. As I said, it's a socialist paradise. Nobody can own any private property, right? In the West right now, there are so many people demonizing owning a property. You don't have to do that. In North Korea, they take everything away from anyway. And people cannot trade, people cannot own anything, even if you are like foreign immigrant to the country. And usually, if you are coming from other countries, government's gonna give you assigned housing. So for North Korean people, supposedly they need to assign the housing for North Koreans too, and depending on your status in the system, what kind of housing is given to you is vastly differ. You might get to even live in Pyongyang in a high-rise, or you might need to live in a countryside in a shack. But no matter the housing that you get, usually the North Korean household doesn't have the working refrigerator, no dishwasher, no central heating, no air conditioner, no running water, and it's a lot of times worse than the housings that animals live here in the West. North Korea do give free education and free healthcare, but in the price of getting a free education, you need to study about Kim Jong-un, Kim Il-sung, Kim Jong-il, 3 Kims. So each Kim you need to spend 500 hours, so 1,500 hours a year you need to study about the Kims. Then they might teach you some numbers and maybe some science, some other relevant education. So if you really like to be brainwashed, and that's what's called the free education in North Korea, you can get that for free. Third is free healthcare. I mean, that's everybody wants that right now, right? So in North Korea, even though it's free healthcare, their waters got contaminated, and I mean, it's literally, they are dealing with the lack of food. Food shortage is an everyday situation. So even though it's a free healthcare, doctors are dying from starvation themselves. Nobody has any anesthesia or antibiotics to treat anybody. So you do not get any treatment. And worse, actually, if you get treatment, the chances of you getting infections are a lot higher. So better not to go to hospital. After all this process, then what happens? And here is like where I have an advantage of living in that country, and I know actually how those immigrants were living in North Korea when I was living there. So the only people that I met personally from immigrants were from Japan. I never met immigrants from UK or the US or Canada. The Japanese immigrants were I think they were the majority ones. North Korea treat these people and promising them again like free education, equality of outcomes and equity, all of that. So a lot of Japanese and also Koreans who left Japan during the war came back. I think more than 10,000 of them went back to North Korea that way. And during that time, they even brought their spouses. They were like fully Japanese. As soon as you go to North Korea that way, they take all your money and they confiscate every possession that you have. And then they're gonna put you in a different gated communities. And when you say gated communities, it's nothing about like nice community at all. It's basically highly surveillanced prison that you are sent to. And even though sometimes they might send to Pyongyang, and a few months later they all get demoted and exiled and sent to political prison camps. And they constantly getting discriminated and being watched by the authorities. And the ones that I saw from America were actually only through the television. Whenever North Korea made the movies about the wartime and the Korean War, World War II, there were Americans in the movie that were playing were the immigrants from America. Usually these were like Caucasian men. And their job was they were assigned to become actors and play the most evil American bastards. That's like one word for North Koreans. So if you immigrate to North Korea and if you're Caucasian, they might use you in propaganda videos and movies and force you to act those barbaric characters where you're killing people and it's like torturing children, that kind of act. But those ones are still lucky ones. Majority of them end up in the political prison camps and starve to death. And that's why I think not many of the people has been seeking immigration to North Korea. Also, not many of them can even come out afterwards. The only way you can come out of North Korea after you immigrate there is through escaping. And you all know through my story what it takes to escape from North Korea. The chances of making that out is not even 1%. There's literally nobody can escape from North Korea right now. With no amount of money we can rescue anybody. Therefore, before you immigrate to North Korea, think very, very hard. But I just really wanted to tell these people, like, if you really want socialism and whatever that your idea or utopia that you have, then please do not ruin our country and move to North Korea because the door is open for you. So thank you guys for watching this video. Please join me on my Patreon and I look forward to seeing your opinions on this video and what you thought about this topic, because I just couldn't believe it that, there are many people are still curious about immigrating to North Korea. So I really want to hear from you. Thank you guys and see you soon.